welcome back. Today I have another sort of TBR update, but also just a book I wanted to talk about. So let's hop into it. So I have just finished reading Blackwater Sister by Zen Cho. If you've been watching a while, you might know that previously I wanted to read Sorcerer to the Crown by Zen Cho and didn't really get into it. But this one was so good. This one takes place in Malaysia and is all about like Malaysian gods and this modern girl trying to figure out how her having been raised in like America with a more like Western mindset kind of connects with that, and she meets her grandma as a ghost, and it was just really beautiful. I really loved the story. The Blackwater Sister specifically is one of the gods that's within the story, and is kind of this scary god who's terrorizing an area because of some plot things that are going on related to a construction project that's going on in the area. And yeah, it was really cool. I loved reading about the different culture and stuff within it. I don't really know that I've ever been exposed to much Malaysian stuff, so getting some of their background and mythology through this was really fun. I just really enjoyed the story overall, and I would highly recommend it if you're looking for something kind of within that vein. Yeah, also, on a semi-related note, just if this helps you decide if you would want to read it or not, the main character in this has moved back to Malaysia with her parents after they'd been living in America, and when they moved to Malaysia, they're living in her Kor Kor, which I believe is an aunt specifically and not her name, but they're living in that house. And I've also been watching Hometown Cha-Cha-Cha on Netflix, and her Kor Kor reminded me very much of Nam-suk from that, so if that gives you any extra motivation, that's one of the things that really kept me excited and having fun with it too. I really enjoyed her Kor Kor and those things that were going on that way, beyond all the other fun stuff that was going on in it as well. On an additional note, this book also has some LGBTQ representation because our main character is also a lesbian. So getting that kind of background was interesting. I know it's kind of a sensitive thing in Asia, and they're still, even more so than a lot of other places, trying to grow up to accept some of that as something that's okay and not like a completely awful thing to have as like your child. And that it's okay to have those relationships and not to have them as stigmatized and stuff. So you get some of that addressed in this book as well, because she's not out to her family or anything. So that was really interesting. I liked seeing that portrayal as well. It was kind of fun to see a multiple dimension to the story instead of just like we've just got the fantasy element or just got like a romance element or something, that it addressed a lot of different issues within like culture, class, and immigration, and then also some of that LGBT stuff was really cool too. So I really enjoyed it for all of that. Now, on to what I mean by saying it's also kind of a TBR update for this video. As I mentioned as I was describing this book, it does also talk about ghosts and things because her grandma is a ghost that talks to her throughout the story. And one of the things that I was doing for the Halloween-a-thon, read-a-thon, was that one of the prompts was a book about ghosts. And so I'm gonna update my TBR to consider this one me having read that, even though it wasn't on the original video I did for the TBR. The original ones I had were this Burnt Tongues anthology, which I was hoping would have a short story about ghosts within it, which it might still, but I read one of the stories and have tried reading a few of the others, and they're just not sitting well with me. They're not short stories that I'm enjoying at all. So this one I'm going to be setting aside and saying I'm not going to finish or keep looking for a ghost story within it. I read the one story and it didn't sit with me, and I haven't really liked the others that I've tried to read from it. So it's not going to be from this book to fulfill that prompt. And then the other one I had was Bloodleaf, which based on its description should have ghosts and things in it, but I haven't started this one yet, and I don't know if I will get to it before the end of the month because I've got so many things I'm trying to read. So since I read this one and it did have ghosts, I'm going to count this as my ghost book instead. So, just as like a little update on all of that too. But yeah, if you happen to have read Blackwater Sister as well and have any thoughts you want to share on it, I'd love to have discussions about it down below. Also, if you have recommendations on books that might be a little similar to this one, I'd love to hear some other recommendations of either like Malaysian books or just Asian books that have kind of this mythology background in a modern setting to them or whatever too. I'm always up for more recommendations of this kind of thing, so just let me know down below if you have any thoughts or ideas. That's all I've got for now. This is the Umlaut Harper, signing out.